Hello again and welcome to our channel. Thank you very much for joining us. You may remember that a few weeks ago we were thinking about an experimental orchard in a small space. We actually constructed the area where the trees were going to be planted, where the orchard was going to be made. You saw us make the holes and everything like that, but we then had to stop because we were waiting for our trees to be delivered. Hooray, the trees have finally arrived. We ordered the trees from Pomona Fruits, and today a courier has delivered our trees. And we're going to show you what they're like and what we're going to do with them. It's exciting, I'm pleased about this. We ordered some bare root fruit trees. We ordered some plums, apples and pears. 2 bare roots of each of those. And I'm now going to take them out of the box and we're going to see what they are like. It's quite exciting, it's like opening presents at Christmas. On there, live plants enclosed. Please open immediately. That's what we're doing. Right, let's see how we're going to get into them. Oh wow! They've opened nice and easily. And there you can see our bare root trees. Really interesting how they've been packed. Sort of some one way, some the other way. Wow. Okay, so let's get them out. What's the label on this one? Cordon apple, Ellisons orange. Let's get this one here. Cordon apple, Fiesta. Cordon pear, Concorde. Cordon plum, Czar. Cordon cherry, Sunburst. And finally, Cordon apple, Katy. So those are our 6 cordon trees. In the box we've also got some ties, and we should have 1 or 2 other things as well. But I'm just going to, including very important root grow with the fungi in, which is going to help the roots start establishing and growing. But I'll put this to the side for one moment and we'll sort that out later. Now what we've got to do, we've got to put these into water. When you receive bare root trees, you don't plant them straight away. You're supposed to soak them in water for 1 to 3 hours to begin with. So let's have a look and see what we've actually got here. Let's have a look at the roots, shall we? Okay, so that is one of our bare root trees. That's the Pear Concorde. So we'll put that into some water. Some more water in. They will soak for probably a couple of hours, something like that, before we then start to plant them. So we'll come back, we'll return a little bit later. These have been soaking in water for about 3 hours. And now we've come across to where we're actually going to plant them. You should be able to remember from before that this is where we're having our experimental orchard in a small space. Previously you've seen us dig the holes and prepare Each of those holes is about 8 inches deep, and it's at least a foot in diameter, maybe a little bit more. I think it's very important that you have a nice large hole, particularly if your soil, like ours, is not very good. So that was about 18 inches deep. I've already started filling it with some good quality soil, with garden compost mixed in. I've also put some of the tree and shrub planting feed in the bottom as well, to encourage the roots to get off to a really good start. So our first tree then, you can see that I've already started to put it into the hole. I haven't fixed it in at the moment, this is just to see how we're getting on. So I've actually put in a stake. My way of doing it is to put in the stakes first. I always like to put the stake in just off centre on the western side of the hole. I don't like to drive stakes through the root system at the end or anything like that. That's my way of doing it. I've actually put a tie on very, very loosely, simply to hold the stake loosely to hold the tree loosely against the stake, so that I can actually adjust it up and down without it falling over. Later on this will obviously have to be tied up a lot tighter. So what I'm aiming to do is, you can see that on this particular one, which is a Pear Concorde, you've actually got a very nice rooting system on this bare root plant tree. And so what I'm going to do, I want to actually put a stick across here to try and make sure that the top of the roots is level with or just below the level of the surrounding ground. That's why I've put this stick across, to try and make sure that. I think that looks quite reasonable actually. The top of the rooting system is just about level with or just slightly below. Perhaps I need to get a little bit more soil underneath. Let's put some more in, bearing in mind that it is going to sink down in this very wet weather that we've got. But I think that looks quite reasonable. Yeah, I think so. So I think I've got that the right sort of level. I'm now just going to fill in the soil around. Put a little bit more powder in. That's good.
Is that the snow? The snow! The snow!
I've just been told that it's starting to snow, which is a little bit staggering, but anyway, we're going to carry on. If it snows, it snows. Firming in with my foot around the outside, trying to eliminate as many air pockets as possible. Okay, I'm going to check the levels again in a moment or two, and I think that looks quite reasonable. To finish it off, I'm going to put some more soil in, mulch it as well, tie it properly, but I think that's a reasonable start. I planted 5 out of the 6 trees. We've just got the one final one to finish. This is Cordon Katy, and we're about to plant this one. We've put it into the hole at about the right level. I've put the stick across, the root system is about level with or just slightly below ground level, which is what I'm aiming for. I've put some of the tree and shrub fertiliser in there. So now I'm just going to be putting more of this soil in. Remember, this is a mixture of topsoil and well rotted garden compost. It's important to have some really good nutritious soil in the hole to help the trees to take root and grow. Filling it in well. The rest of the soil. It's amazing how much soil it actually takes to do this. I'll put a little bit more of the fertiliser in. Okay, I think that should be absolutely fine. So we've planted all 6 now. Remember, they're cordon trees, so we want them to grow up, we don't want them to grow out. The laterals will be trimmed so that they don't actually go out far that way. We'll stop them when they're about 6 or 8 feet tall. Hopefully we'll have a lovely selection of fruit here to pick. Obviously we've got things to finish off this area. We're actually going to put some other fruit around the outside. Some strawberries and some gooseberries and different things in pots and that, but we'll come on to that in a later video. That's all for the moment. It really was snowing. We really are wet, cold and dirty. We've had fun. We hope you have as well. Thank you.